All right. Well, good morning. It is 7 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I want to welcome you all here. Whoops. To our meeting of February 19th, and we're special. This is a special edition. We are celebrating our 29th year as a chartered Rotary Club. And we are very happy to see all of you here to join us today. And we always start our club meetings with sharing and remembering the Rotary vision, which guides us in our work. So I wanted to share that again today, this morning with you. And we also always start our meetings by remembering that Rotary International values diversity and celebrates the contributions of people of all backgrounds, regardless of their age, ethnicity, race, color, abilities, religion, socioeconomic status, culture, sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. And that this is really important to our club, and I know it's important to Rotary, so we want to remind ourselves every day of that. And then I would like to start by welcoming, herzlich willkommen in Arcata, President Knaack. It's good to have you with us. We're excited and feel honored to have you here with us. And I'm going to now turn over introductions of guests and visiting Rotarians to our District Governor-elect and a member of our club, Arcata Sunrise, Dustin Littlefield.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here. So I'm going to introduce our guests in the room today, our dignitaries, starting with, of course, Rotary International President Holger Knaack, and thank you for being here. Next in the room is District Governor Doug Johnson. Next on the official list, and this is fun to do, is introducing myself again, Dustin Littlefield, District Governor-elect. Also in the room is our District Governor nominee, Jennifer Strong. Next up is past District Governor Terry Clark. Also here, past District Governor Kevin Eisenberg and Mary. Past District Governor Aaron Dunn and Ross Raleigh. And I'm scrolling through, I think they're going to be here, so I'll announce them anyway. Past District Governor Bob Rogers. Past District Governor Barb Spangler and Jim. And then we have our Assistant Governor, Howard Stauffer. Assistant Governor Mary Crumley, and Assistant Governor Frank Ramos. And thank you all, Rotarian guests and other guests, for being here today. Oh, sorry, and also past District Governor Kathy Flanson and Jim, who is also a past District Governor.
Thank you, Dustin. And we invite all of our other guests to put your name and affiliation into the chat so people can see who all is here. I know it's difficult with the screens. I've got myself with up to, what, 48 people or whatever it is on my screen, and you are all tiny little people. So please share your affiliation so our club knows who has come to help celebrate with us today. Thank you so much. I'm going to now turn the meeting over to our president of Rotary International. It's a great honor to have you here with us. I know you're a busy man, and we so appreciate you being here, and thank you so much, and the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, President Maggie, and congratulations to your 29th anniversary. It's great to be with you for this birthday party. I just read that you required a jacket and tie. So, but you know, behind this backdrop, I have everything to change clothes in seconds, and so that makes it happen. Yes, again, thank you very much. I'm at home. That most of you, or nearly all of you, and yes, being at home is probably the most safest place we can be right now. I'm at home since March last year, when I left Evanston after joining so many different president-elect training seminars in the United States. And then at the end, we had to cancel the last seminars. The last one we canceled was New York, where the numbers went up so rapidly. And then I went home, and here I am still. Probably I'm the first Rotary International president, spent the whole year at home. I don't know that. I have no idea if I have the opportunity to sit in this beautiful office, 18th floor in Evanston, with this beautiful view to the skyline of Chicago and Lake Michigan. But it's how it is. I think I will definitely be the RI president with the most contacts to Rotarians, because I'm doing Zoom meetings all day long. And so I have the opportunity to meet many more Rotarians than traveling in person the world and spending most of the time in airports and planes and on airports. So thank you again inviting me. When I spoke last year in San Diego about change and being revolutionary, nobody had an idea how change would look like. And this change really changes the Rotary world right now. And I think that's the positive thing of this coronavirus. This enforced us to do things differently, what I hope to see during my year. And but again, I would love to see this change in a different way. And that is why I'm always asking Rotary clubs and also your club, being at home is the best opportunity to put everything on the test in your Rotary club, to do something what I call a strategic meeting and rethink everything what happens in your club, from the meeting events, meeting times, your venue, whatever you are doing in your club, your procedures to gain new members, and everything. And this is a perfect time to make, yes, to make your club ready for the future. But when I read your message, President Maggie, you sent to me what you are doing right now in your Rotary Club. So I'm not afraid of the future of your Rotary Club, because you are really ahead of so many clubs looking for your future, looking for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I really would like to thank all of you putting emphasis on this. I'm always telling Rotary clubs, especially in Germany, where we are far behind with gender balance in our Rotary clubs. I'm always telling them, diversity, that's not a wish list. This is part of our core values. And it's not just the diversity of gender, it's a diversity of age. It's looking for totally different people. And again, I can't thank you enough being here, really an example for a Rotary Club, to really looking forward and to live our four-way test. I would like to put some emphasis on our four-way test because our core values, our five core values, they build, of course, the basis for every Rotary Club in the world. But we can find, when you are traveling the world, and I've done that for many years, visiting Rotary clubs everywhere, you will find clubs are different everywhere. Rotary is lived in a totally different manner everywhere. Totally different in Japan, again, different in Australia. In India, it's a different Rotary. In your country, and again, in my country, in Central Europe, it's again different. And there are sometimes you can find also different emphasis on our core values. While service is so much more important in your country, it's in Germany and especially Scandinavia, the focus is not as much on service as in your countries, not on local service, because everything is done by the government here. There is a perfect health system for everyone. So I'm asking always Rotary clubs here, please find a fair balance between what you are doing at home or in the so-called low and middle income countries and continents. So we have a strong focus in Germany on Africa, because all of you know that there is still a movement from Africa via the Mediterranean Sea to Rotary. And the only way to stop this movement is to look for a better life for people in Africa. But coming back to our four-way test, this is something what really combines us everywhere, regardless how we live Rotary and how we celebrate Rotary in the Rotary world. We all are using the same four-way test. And there is one thing I would like to tell you, and that's in addition to the first question. Is it the truth? If you're going on in the internet today, on Facebook, you never knows, is it the truth? Even if you're listening to some politicians in our world, you don't know if it's the truth. So that's the problem with the truth. The edition, an old edition, a German one, it's asking yourself, because the four-way test is for asking yourself, questioning yourself. And the addition is it the truth? Am I being honest? Am I doing the right thing? I think this is important for the first question. If you're asking for the truth, you're asking yourself, if I being honest? Am I doing the right thing? With this, I think this is built the basis for integrity, and that's why I really love this addition to the first question. And then, of course, the next three are really putting the point on our friendship and Rotary and being fair to everybody. Thinking about the coronavirus, I'm asking you and all Rotary clubs in the world, when we are coming back to normal, and everybody wants to come back to normal. Everybody can't wait to hug each other and to shake hands and to sit together and having a drink together, celebrating together. That's what Rotarians love to do. But I'm asking all, please, let us keep the good things right now. Let us keep the good things we are learning through Zoom meetings, even in times of the so-called new normal. So I'm asking clubs, please, at least once a month, do a virtual meeting like this Zoom meeting here. This is our opportunity to invite totally different speakers from everywhere, great speakers. It's our opportunity to travel the world and to meet many more friends in Rotary. When I talked about opportunities and choose opportunities as my theme, Rotary opens opportunities, I had no idea how important this theme would be. And I'm also sure that President Mark Maloney, when he chose Rotary Connect the World, had no idea how in this unusual times Rotary would connect the world. I choose this theme, Rotary opens opportunities, because it works to different directions. It works, of course, for the people we serve. We are indeed opening opportunities when we are providing a wheelchair, eyeglasses, clean water, basic education, or a microcredit. We are opening opportunities for the people we serve. But we're also opening opportunities for us as Rotarians to live definitely a richer life among friends who are sharing the same core values. And for me, Rotary is definitely right now, also virtual, it's an ideal platform for doing good in the world and for connecting the world. It's about personal growth. I'm sure being a Rotarian, you have the opportunity to become a better leader. For me, it was important to join my Rotary Club, first of all, also to widen my perspective, to learn a totally different horizon. I think we have the opportunity to become better speakers. Public speaking, we are becoming an event planner and project planner when we are planning our service projects. And again, what makes us unique is our incredible youth programs. I would like to emphasize again on your idea. It's not your idea, but your emphasis on our diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. And I think Rotarians can really be proud that we came up with this statement, not just after this wave starts 1 year ago in your country. It's already 2 years ago that Rotary has done this statement. And thank you very much for putting this on the screen, because it's really celebrating contributions of all backgrounds. And that's really important for Rotarians and for Rotary. And even if I'm always asking Rotary clubs to look for members who are a good fit to your Rotary club. And I think this is really important because we are a group of friends doing service and being as friends for lifetime together. But that doesn't exclude that we are really looking for different people and more diversity in our Rotary clubs, looking simply beyond we are normally looking for. And again, I thank you that you're doing this initiative. And I can tell you that the board of our directors went through 3 hours training regarding equity and diversity to make sure that everybody is on the same level. And this is a requirement. We also ask past senior leaders to go through that because it's a very sensitive problem. And we have to make sure that all people who are speaking speaking for Rotary International are really following our ideas, our values, and our diversity, equity, and inclusion statement. And with this, President Maggie, I think I was talking enough. Let's chat a little bit if there is time. I think it's much more value in this than just hearing me talking. Thank you very much for listening to me. One last point, what I love in Rotary, when you travel the world, physical or virtually, it's amazing how many great people you are meeting through Rotary. That's a value itself. There are so many great people in this world, and you are able to meet them, to connect with them, and to make friends. And again, I can't wait for the next convention in Houston, really to hug people, to shake hands. And that's definitely a different experience. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your words. I know people will probably have some questions. So what I think I need you to do, since there's so many people here, is go ahead and put your name in the chat if you have a question, and then I can see who would like to ask something, and I can ask you to speak so that we don't all go at once. We'll give them a chance to do that. I want to give a shout out to one of our friends who's here from your side of the pond, President Knaack, our friend Alex, who is joining us from, I'm trying to remember what country you are in. Alex, you want to say hello? Oh, he's at work, so he may not be able to jump on. But Terry, where is he?
He's from Croatia. And we met when he was a GSE team member many, many years ago, and now he's a Rotarian. So it's a great international connection that we've managed to maintain.
Yeah, and we have had President Holger as a guest on our meeting. I think 2 months ago, 3 months ago. So this is my second time I'm with him at the meeting. So this is, let's say, also one in a kind in Croatia, at least.
Thank you, Alex.
That's great. All right. Does anyone have any questions they would like to ask, or anything you'd like to share with our president who is here now? This is an opportunity you won't often get. They're all in awe and unable to. There we go. we have a thank you for your support of the new area of the focus of SRAG. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, about the new environmental focus?
Yes, yes, I love to talk about that. For me, it was really high time that we included the environment into our areas of focus. Definitely high time. I remember many discussions in the United States where there were some during the institutes and also president-elect training seminars. There was some resistance among older people because they tried to explain that this would be political. But you know what? I don't think that's political. That's and if I think of Europe, I think every country is really putting emphasis right now, not just on the environment, also on the fight against global warming and climate change. And this is something what really affects every part of the world. So when we are normally talking about poverty and all these things, these are special countries and areas in the world affected by this problem. But global warming, if I think about the bushfires in Sweden, in your part in California or also Australia, so that's why everybody should take care of our environment and make sure that we are fighting against that. And what I'm always saying, it begins not with our seventh area of focus. It begins with us, with you and I, with our behavior, what we are doing. And there are so many things we can do. Reduce the use of plastic, reduce our using of energy. And what I'm always saying, thinking of Germany, simply driving not too fast on our German Autobahn. So there are many things everybody can do just a little bit. And I think with this, we are able to reduce our energy by probably 20% if everybody is thinking here. The trustees of the Rotary Foundation right now, they are developing the rules for global grants. That's a little bit tricky. Just give you an example, thinking about planting trees. That's what Rotary clubs all over the world love to do. But applying for a global grant for planting trees, there are many more requirements then. Of course, it has to be part of a global, or not global, but regional plan doing that, not single trees. That doesn't make any sense. And then it's about sustainability. Planting a tree is easy. But looking after this tree for 10 years, making sure that the tree is able to grow and is still there in 10 years, this is something we have to make sure when we are applying for a global grant. So it's about an assessment and, of course, about sustainability. And there are so many other things where what makes it a little bit more difficult here to apply for a global grant. Thank you for that question.
Thank you, President Knaack. Another question we have from past District Governor Barb Spangler is, do we have a specific role in sharing our polio vaccination expertise in deployment of COVID-19 efforts worldwide?
Yes, thank you. This is something we are right now taking care of with the task force, and this task force is built by the president-elect and president nominee, and also the trustee chairs, the three current and incoming trustees chair, looking after that. First of all, vaccination, that's our business since more than 40 years. And even if everything right now is about Corona. So I think we have some opportunities also to look after polio and to make sure that people continue to contribute, because we promised the children of the world, to end polio. I was myself exactly 1 year ago in Pakistan, where I met together with past our president, Ravi Ravindran, where we met Imran Khan and the chief of army staff. And we saw all the facilities to vaccinate against polio firsthand. Huge warehouses, huge refrigerators, so in huge warehouses to store the vaccine. Dozens, hundreds of cars doing the work, with drivers, a huge center to coordinate everything. And all these facilities are already there, will be used to vaccinate people against the coronavirus. So everything is there, all over Africa, all over Southeast Asia, all over South Asia. So they are ready, just because Rotarians had the idea more than 40 years ago to eliminate polio. And I think this is something we should really let people know. And there are some articles right now in Europe letting people know that there is everywhere in Africa and these South Asia to vaccinate people. The problem is the fair distributions. And that's why I'm asking all of you, please, to do advocacy to make sure that there is a fair distribution of vaccines all over the world. Right now, every country is just looking selfish for itself. But as Rotarians, we really should look for a fair distribution. And there are many more things we can do by ourselves, helping in vaccination areas, centers. I know that in England, many Rotarians are involved in this thing, helping with transportation, helping organizing vaccinations. And of course, it's about advocacy for vaccines and combating misinformation. I think that's so important. And my request is, if you have been vaccinated, please let people know this. Make a photo, go on Facebook and say, hey, I'm just now vaccinated the second time, and please do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. I have another question. This is a follow-up. I have this question and then one more. The question is from former past district governor Kevin Eisenberg. Given that the environment is a political issue, it's a political issue in the United States and elsewhere, how is Rotary navigating our non-political ideal with the need to take a stand on issues that affect the well-being of the world?
Thank you for that question. I said during my speech 1 year ago at the International Assembly, and probably Doug, you remember that, I said, Rotary is of course not political. That's important. But when things are obviously wrong, Rotarians are not speechless. And this is for this issue, of course, but also for diversity and social injustice. There are also people thinking it's political. No, it's not political. It affects everybody in the world. Political is taking side of a party or whatever it is. That's nothing for Rotary. But I think global warming and political, I think that's more, you can find that more in the United States, definitely. No one in Europe thinks that this is a political issue, and no one in Australia when I'm talking with them. So I'm not afraid to really spell out that that's something what also Rotarian can fight against. And I saw, by the way, some Rotarian from the United States starts a discussion with me about what she wrote me. Her nightmare would be to see the Rotary wheel on windmills and on solar projectors fighting global warming. And I sent her saying, you know what? Go to Africa, go to Australia, go to the Philippines. You will find dozens of solar panels with a rotary wheel and dozens of mills to produce energy. And also here in Germany, that's normal right now. And I just got yesterday an email, and she let me know she's leaving Rotary because of that. And I think, to be very honest, that's not a loss. I have to apologize, but that's my thinking about that. It's simply a fact, and I think we are here on the right way with our new 7th area of focus, the environment.
Thank you for that, President Knaack. I think this might be our last question, depending on our time. Where is it? Oh, this is from Sharon Cisna. And she asks that you mentioned your club is helping improve life in Africa. Can you let us know a little bit about what you are doing?
Yes, there are several things right now. One is in South Africa, and that's a kindergarten. And in this kindergarten, they are the organization itself also took care of the families. And right now, after when they were in lockdown, and they are still having problems there, so we are supporting that kindergarten, not the kindergarten itself, but so feeding the families. So I think we took care for 6 months for about 60 families to make sure that they had simply food. And the same thing we are doing in Namibia, where we are supporting other groups, a Rotary Club, because a Rotary Club was taking care of people who are normally paid day by day basis, and because of all of them during that lockdown lost their work, and they are still struggling there. And so we are making sure to support the Rotary Club, and the Rotary Club then in Windhoek is looking for food for these groups of people. These are 2 examples, and there is another one coming up right now in Ethiopia, but that's a long-term help for agriculturing things in these communities.
Thank you. We have, I wanted to let people know that past District Governor Bob Rogers has put a link to a 3-minute video about what Rotary is doing to help with COVID-19. And we also want to thank you for your ongoing support of Youth Exchange and endorsement of Youth Exchange. It's really important in our area. We have a very active program here. We've missed having that program this last year, and we just want to thank you for that support. Any other last questions? We have a additional program for all of you, and we hope that you will enjoy it. And President Knaack, we thank you so much for being here with us. We hope you can stay a little bit to see the rest of this program. And we know you're busy, but thank you so much for being here. Vielen Dank. Es freut mich sehr. And thank you again. Thank you again.
I thank all of you, because especially this question and answer session gives me the opportunity to learn what is important in other parts of the world. So that's really helping me, and I like to visit Rotary clubs. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, and we want you to come to our district when you're able to. We're in Northern California, north of San Francisco. It's one of the most beautiful places in California. We're biased, but it's still true. And we'd love to have you anytime. Once you retire from being our president, feel free to come over and visit us. We'd be happy to entertain you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So let me just pin you. Okay, here we go. So now we are going to go to door number 2, where we are going to share with you a little charter celebration. And I'd like to introduce to you past District Governor Terry Clark, who will get this ball rolling.
Thank you very much, President Maggie, and thank you, President Holger, for being with us. One of the things I love most about this club, and it's a long list, which I will not share all of it right now, is that we celebrate our birthday every single year. Most clubs just do every 5 years or something, you know, a significant one, but I really like doing this every year. And we have 5 speakers for you, and I'm going to introduce a charter member, Bob Johnson, to lead us off.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay,
great. All right. Hey, you're looking at a picture that was taken out at Baywood Golf and Country Club in 1992. There are 30 people in that photograph. That was our initial charter night celebration. But to back up a little bit, it would probably have been 1991 when the Rotary Club of Arcata was charged or offered the district to spin off the morning club. It was the obvious thing to do, I think. Jim Hamby who was the manager of the Humboldt State Foundation, emerged from that club and was selected to be our founding president. I'm not sure how long he had been in Rotary at that point, but he took on this challenge and had a whole new vision for what he wanted this new club to look like, the kind of club that he wanted to form. He took a small handful of members from the Noon Club and then went out into the community, invited a lucky, diverse group of us to come along on this great new adventure. We all gathered on Friday mornings at the Golden Harvest Cafe, excuse me, wondering what we had gotten ourselves into. We learned all about the programs and the foundation and all aspects of this organization that we had joined. We also sold shrimp gumbo on the plaza during the North Country Fair. We got our Taste of the Holidays fundraiser off the ground. We went up and eradicated non-native species from the community forests. And then we also set traditions, like Terry mentioned, for our Charter Night celebration that carries forward to today. One thing I'd like to point out is our club was formed and chartered in this month of 1992. We came together and we appointed directors and of all 4 avenues of service that was typical Rotary, but we also added a 5th avenue of service because that was part of the vision that Jim had for our club, and that was youth service. And that was in 1992. And I like to point out that it was in 2010 that Rotary International added youth service as an official avenue of service following our lead. So when I see and think about the growth of our club over the years, when I see Ian and Vanessa coming on to lead and Dustin rising to even higher leadership positions, I can't help but think about our first president, Jim Hamby, and our second president, Harry Johnson, who incidentally called me early on the morning of my first meeting as president in July of 1995 from Belgium to wish me luck. And I think about their vision and how they structured the club and how they supported and how they educated so early on, making sure that the interests of our community, local and international, young and old, were top of mind and were paramount. Being a member of this club has meant a lot to me. I'm so proud of what we become. And I know that Jim Hamby and Harry Johnson would be proud also. So that was kind of the beginning formation 29 years ago.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
I became a Rotarian the same year as this club was chartered, but by a twist of fate, I joined a different club. Arcata Sunrise met across the street from where I worked then, and I made up there often. Because of that, I was lucky to learn about Rotary from 2 very different clubs that also had some similarities. Southwest Eureka was older, and there were very few women in it at that time. Arcata Sunrise was brand new. Many of the members were younger, and lots of them were women. The similarity was that both believed in the second part of our name, international. Southwest Eureka founded a project fair in Guadalajara, Mexico, called Festival of Brotherhood. For over a decade, it was well attended and funded tens of thousands of dollars worth of projects in the Jalisco part of Mexico. Arcata Sunrise got involved in Rotary Youth Exchange from the start and held internationally themed dinners to raise money for projects in Mexico and other countries. As I continued to attend both meetings at both clubs, I learned more and more about the depth and breadth of what Rotary could do in our communities and the world. 10 years after I joined Rotary, I served as district governor. Craig Newman, a charter member of this club, was my district conference co-chair. 2 members of Southwest Eureka served as my district secretary and district treasurer. We were one great big happy family. And the clubs that we were in didn't really matter because this district worked together to further Rotary. At the district conference in 2003, I told the attendees that lots of people have two clubs, one they're in and one of their heart. When I named Arcata Sunrise as Medium Club of the Year that year, I was honoring the club of my heart. 3 years later, I was wise enough, lucky enough to get sponsored by Janice Newman and Wendy Nelson to come and join this club so I could put those two clubs into one. I love this club and I love the people in it. I miss eating bacon and drinking coffee with all of you in the mornings on Friday. And I'm so proud that we're going to be the home club of District Governor Dustin Littlefield starting in July. And I'm happy now to turn the meeting over to a kind of a newish member, Amanda Nelson.
Thanks, Terry. You can all hear me. Terry asked me to speak today just as someone who's only joined. I've been in the club for almost half of my club has been in COVID, so not for very long. But Rotary has been a part of my heart for my entire life. I grew up in a Rotary club, very traditional Rotary club. My dad, who is now in his 60s, is still the youngest member in the club, as he was when I was 7. So that tells you a lot about that experience. But even though it was it wasn't a club that I saw myself as a girl, but becoming a young woman in, with a lot of older men, I was still, the community was there, the family Rotary events, the fundraising. I always had a youth exchange student in my house, so that was very near and dear to my heart. That's why it ultimately led me to go out on exchange. So I did a year-long exchange in high school to Australia. One of the best experiences of my life, and it really solidified the fact to me that Rotary was a very special thing, but it wasn't at that time something that was in the near future of my life because I wasn't established in my career. That was an end goal, not a beginning goal, and it wasn't somewhere that I saw myself. That is until I met Scott Heller, who sponsored me, and this club. And I went to a lot of fundraisers at this club before I joined them, and you can tell it's a really special club, and it's very, very forward thinking, very different, and very exciting. For me, it was something that I started to think that this would be pretty awesome to be a part of. But when Scott asked if I wanted to join, it was still a surprise. It was still very much a surprise because I was recent in my career place and wasn't established. It's hard to see like, oh, I'm not that, I'm not the pick, we need the banker. That's not me yet. And so that was really exciting. But now that I'm a part of it, I'm really excited to see where we're going to go, what I can do. I've got so many more years to be a part of it. My dad asks me, he's like, how does your club get the Rotary Exchange to Rotary member pipeline? You're going to have to change, Dad. You're going to have to change. And so I don't know if he's listening to me yet, but I'm going to bring him to visit us when COVID's all over. So that's really been my Rotary experience. And I'm so excited for more because I've only got 2 years. And now I'm going to pass the baton over to Maggie. Maybe.
Thank you, Amanda. So this is my story a little bit. I've been working in nonprofits and I've always been aware of Rotary and their good works, but I never joined. I think my thinking was, you fundraise all day at work and you work with so many local clubs who support your organization. Find something else to do with your free time. In 2011, I decided to take a break from the nonprofit world and join the Peace Corps. A few months before my departure, Arcata Sunrise asked me to speak about the services offered by the agency where I worked. Walking into that room at an exceedingly early 7 a.m., I felt at home. People were friendly and I recognized several members. Before my presentation, Cam Appleton, who I have known for many years, asked me if I'd ever considered joining Rotary and would I like to join Arcata Sunrise. I was flattered to be asked by someone I respected as much as I did Cam. I told him yes, I would like that, but I'm leaving for the Peace Corps in a couple months. So I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but Cam reached out to tell me that the club wanted to make me an honorary member. A group who wanted me even when I couldn't be there, or maybe because I couldn't be there. But seriously, it was an honor I was determined to live up to. I didn't learn until much later how unusual this offer was. I was lucky to live near one of the only 5 Rotary clubs in Botswana and quickly became their secretary. When it came time to renew our dues, our treasurer told me he was having a heck of a time finding me in the system. Oh, duh. I was an honorary member and I had never paid dues. After my service, I returned, transferred my membership, and became active in this club. I moved to Arcata a year before becoming president, so I didn't have that long early commute on Friday mornings. Well, I needn't have worried about that, but living in Arcata increases my connection to this community and many of our members. Although my first club was the Rotary Club of Lobatse, the club that has my heart is Arcata Sunrise. I came into this club through the back door, and I'm grateful for the confidence expressed in that offer. But you had me at hello. So now I'm going to turn it over to Vanessa Griffin. Vanessa?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Vanessa Griffin, and I am the owner-operator of the Griffin, a cocktail bar in downtown Arcata. I've been a member of Arcata Sunrise since 2017, and I couldn't be more grateful to be a part of this Rotary Club. I'm delighted because in this moment, I represent the future of Rotary. I understand that I stand on the shoulders of giants, as the reason I chose Arcata Sunrise was the content of their collective character. Since joining, I've had the privilege of participating in continuing conversations with club leadership regarding the very topics outlined in the President's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Statement. As the vocational chair, I've had the honor of working with Crystal Perez to secure a district grant funding paid internships for young people who, through no fault of their own, experience barriers to seeking gainful employment. We're working to provide them with resume writing guidance, appropriate clothing for interviews, help with securing proper identification. The list goes on. I am proud to work with the club that actively seeks projects that best serve the underrepresented members of our community. It's through such projects we can show our community that this is Rotary. It's through such projects we can attract a more diverse membership, one that is proud to say, I am the future of Rotary. The end.
Thank you, Vanessa. So that was just a little bit of a sharing with all of you about some of the members in our club and why we are here, why we came, and why we continue to be in Arcata Sunrise. I'd like to go to our last door. I always have to have 3 doors of opportunity. And I wanted to open opportunity here to ask our club members, but also any of you who would like to share some words of gratitude about your Rotary experience or life in general. So if you'd like to say something, go ahead and put your name in the chat, and then we will let you have a few moments to say a few things. I lost my chat. Isn't that interesting? That's weird. Okay. All right. There it is. Mike.
I would just say that I'm very thankful of all of you of welcoming me to this area and allowing me to work for others. That's what's so special. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Lisa. Lisa,
you're muted. All right, there you go. So
I want to say that I'm thankful for Maggie for being our president this year and carrying us through this COVID time. I know that this has been difficult in putting together all these Zoom meetings, and she's just been absolutely amazing. And I'm just so happy to have her as our president. And I know going forward, Ian will be up against the same. And it's just, you know, it's probably a difficult task. It was difficult to learn, but it's been very smooth and wonderful. So thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Well, I'll say a couple things too. I'll just want to say thank you for everybody and your welcoming us in the community over these years and getting to know everybody. What an amazing group of people are in this club, and the activities are second to none that the club has been involved in. What a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Chris. I just want to say my two biggest fears going into being president were, one, making sure I got up on time and got there to the meeting. Turns out not to be as big of a problem as I thought. And the other one was having to, hook up to the tech and run the slides and do all that every time. And so be careful what you fear, because you will be given the opportunity in life to meet those fears and succeed. So, but I find it, I look back now and I laugh. It's like, that's what you were worried about? I mean, geez, so, but anyway, thank you. Let's go to Ian.
Thanks, Maggie. Every time our club members talk about what we do and ourselves, I am thoroughly humbled to be asked to be your incoming president. And I've got to give a quick shout out to Chuck Petruccia here. He's across the office from me and he's here on screen with us. Chuck is one of my mentors in life as my boss and a business owner here in the community. And thank you, Chuck, for giving me the time and space to step in and do this, because I know it's a lot to ask, and firsthand, having been a president of your club and a leader in the community. So thank you for that. And I just look forward to serving all of you in the coming year. There are some huge shoes behind me to fill, so thank you.
Thank you, Ian. I do wear large shoes, but I think you're referring to other people as well. Ross, let's hear from you, Ross.
Hey, as a member from another club, I first saw the insights of the Arcata Sunrise Club joining with District Governor Aaron Dunn to join one of your meetings. And at that point, I hadn't seen such a vibrant and progressive club as the Arcata Sunrise Club. And the Arcata Sunrise Club has been a true inspiration to our club in so many ways. Just even though we come from kind of different backgrounds, different personalities, I just want to say we have grasped so many things from the Arcata Sunrise Club and have introduced that into our club. So thank you, Arcata Sunrise.
Wow, thank you, Ross. That's so wonderful to hear. I don't know, Hyder, did you want to say anything? You put some notes in the chat. Is there anything you want to say to us today?
Yes, thank you, Rotary Club of Arcata Sunrise, for being one of the first clubs, and only 3 in our districts, that have stepped up to do the one-way exchange with Africa called the Power of One. It's a unique Rotary program where we host youth from Africa here. It's probably going to be Kenya or Nigeria or Uganda. We're not sure yet. And of course, because of COVID, the whole youth exchange is still waiting to get more information and guidance from RI to know how and what it will look like. So thank you for stepping up. You folks are always in the forefront when it comes to exploring and expanding Rotary. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hyder. Howard.
Yes, this club has meant so much to me. I joined many years ago, but now I'm happy to be one of the oldest members of the club. But I'm particularly happy because there's so many of you in the club who are in your 30s or 40s. And also that the club is so diverse that about half of us are women. And we have quite a few Hispanic Americans who've joined the club and assumed leadership positions. And it's just great for that. I particularly have focused on international projects and the way we've been able to fund schools internationally where just a small amount of funding can produce a primary school for 200 to 300 children. It's really quite rewarding to have our club support that. Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you. Yes, it's amazing what little money can do in other places. So much good. Rebecca.
I just wanted to say thanks to the club for being so family-friendly. Many folks may not know I started coming when my daughter was 5 and in kindergarten, and I bring her to every meeting. That bonding experience with me, and it's been a huge growth for her. She has a network of adults she knows that she would never have gotten to meet. And so I know we have a lot of new parents in the club, and just also wanted to throw it out that, you know, I can't wait when we're all together and I see other people's kids start to come through and go through. And it's fun to see other Rotarians, adult kids out in the community that I saw coming through. So I really appreciate that our club is family friendly. It's been a huge part of making Rotary possible for me, and to thank everyone for welcoming my kids when they come. And
Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, we have had a lot of kids grow up in this Rotary Club, and we have a couple new ones coming, or one here and one on its way. So we hope they too will grow up in this club. Anybody else? We have time for one more. If there's anyone out there who would like to say anything.
I'm not going to put my name in the chat because I'm Mr. Badinsky, but I've been to this club really since the beginning. I was the first non-charter member to become a member of this club, and I was there at charter night along with Bob, and I'm really proud of this club. I've always been proud of this club because we do take the initiative. We do move forward in areas where it may not be quite popular to do yet. Yeah, and other places too, like Bob said, with the youth service, that was totally organic from the beginning of this club. And we still struggle with some diversity issues, but the gender issue has never been a problem because, as I said in the chat, Jim Hamby was determined that it didn't matter what gender you were, or now I guess even if you're gender free, it doesn't matter. It's the people. It's all about the people who are members of this club, who run this club, and we all run this club. So I'm very, very happy to be a Sunrise Rotarian.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you, everybody. I wanted to take a moment to thank the committee that put together the little presentation today: Terry, Clark, Bob Johnson, Amanda Nelson, and Vanessa Griffin for that. It was nice of them to include me. I appreciate that. I'm really pleased that a lot of you came. I know that we got you here because we had invited the president, but I am glad. I hope you stayed and enjoyed the presentation, and we really appreciate your helping to celebrate our birthday. We hope to have an in-person charter event soon, and certainly if we miss our 29th birthday, the advantage to that is we can be 29 again. Or we can celebrate our 30th and we can invite everybody. So I thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate all of you. I hope you have a terrific day. And I did bring one more slide to share with you. So let me get that up for you. Let's see. Come on now. I found this slide, and I think it speaks for itself, but I think if we're determined enough and we persist, we can do amazing things. So I wish you all a wonderful weekend, wonderful week, Stay safe, take care, do service, and we will see you all soon. Thank you so much.